Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Resident Sleeper Show. I mean, the Community Super League. We are in week 6. This is no ban list modern. And Wedge, how are you, sir?
What?
Did you have some fun that last game? I think you played some creatures. You might have played like 3. It was pretty cool.
It was a haze of pointy ears and like one lightning bolt, and then just a lot of heritage. I don't remember. Something about trees. How are you?
I'm excellent now, man. That was rough. I almost fizzled off there. There was a point where I had like 5 lands, 2 abrupt decays, Craterhoof Behemoth. I had already played my land for the turn, and I was like, oh god, how do I do this? Luckily, I drew into another Skull Clamp. You can equip 2 Skull Clamp to an X2, draw
dirty.
4 cards.
Oh god, it was so dirty.
The rest is history. Little Delvers, little Swift Spears. They got nothing for me.
I mean, it was like my issue was that I didn't know what to sideboard. Like when I was making my sideboard, I didn't know what to prepare for. So I'm like, Hypergenesis, Graveyard decks. Dude, I put Nyx in my sideboard, like the card Nyx, okay? And I'm just staring at my sideboard like, man, Blood Moon isn't even good against you. Like, I can't spend my whole third turn doing that.
Yeah, we played some very fair games the first 2 games
The
that we
first 2
played.
games were pretty fair, yeah.
Yeah, like I attacked you for 5 and killed you at or something like that, and then the next game you killed my dudes and hit me for lethal. Burned me. You gut shot me twice.
I double gut shotted you for lethal.
And then game 3 we finally saw some wombo combos going on, but looks like next round we have Gaby Spartz versus the Prof. And do you know what they're running, Wedge?
I do. Gaby is on Get Hypergenesis.
Get Hypergenesis.
Get Hypergenesis.
See, whenever I see Genesis, I think of that Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the Emrakul.
Sour, please. Okay, anyway. All right, well, for those who don't know, do you want to explain what makes Hypergenesis so hyped?
Sure. So the card Hypergenesis is broken, effectively, hence why it's banned. It's one of those suspend cards, but the mana cost is essentially 0, so what you can do is, and what you can see in Gaby's list, she has 2 Demonic Dreads, 4 Ardent Plea, 4 Violent Outburst, and these cards all cascade. And so as soon as she casts one of those cards, and she can do that as soon as turn 1, thanks to her 4 Simian Spirit Guides. So as soon as she casts one of those spells, it's going to cascade through her deck, and the only card that it can hit is Hypergenesis. Hypergenesis is basically Eureka, and her deck takes advantage of that by putting in Emrakul, Dragonlord Kolagon, Terastodons, Progenitus. It looks like she's opted to go for the Dragonlord Kolagon route to give her creatures haste instead of the Urabrask. Urabrask is actually really sweet in this list. Yeah, Urabrask is sweet because then the opponent's creatures enter the battlefield tapped, but this deck can win on turn 1 if you have a hand like 2 Simian Spirit Guides, a Gemstone or one of your lands that produces any color of mana, Emrakul Kolagon, and well, that's 21 points of damage right there.
It's definitely explosive. It's one of those all-in or nothing decks. Like, you could look at a hand that's like, oh, I win, or you could look at a hand that's like 3 Emrakul and 2 Gemstone Mine and like 2 Terastodon, and it's just like, well,
Exactly. This has a very high variance. It looks like she's added 3 Forbidden Alchemies as a way to kind of sift through her deck. But yeah, this is certainly capable of mulliganing into Oblivion or just having some really awkward draws where you're like, well, I have 3 Ashen Riders and I don't have any way to cascade into them. Right. Let's take a look at the Prof's deck now.
Yes.
And is he, in fact, on Merfolk?
He is not at all. His deck list, called Watch Your Step, is basically if you took the Delver deck that I played and just swapped most of the blue for red and made it a lot angrier. He swaps out the Snapcaster Mages that I would have run for Goblin Guide, and this is just so aggressive. Like, he has Delver, but his spell package is like Searing Blaze, Lava Spike, Riftbolt. It's like he took blue-red Delver and white-red Burnt and just sort of put him in a blender, and like this popped out.
But Wedge, tell me, is a 1-mana 2/2 haste good, or is a 15/15 flying Annihilator 6 better?
I personally don't do that much math, but if I had to, like, 1 + 7, I mean, I feel like 15/15 might be better.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
I don't know though. I'm not a mathematician, Ken.
How good do you think these Searing Blazes, 3 Searing Blazes, how do you think those are going to fare against 5/5 flyers and
Uh,
15/15s and 6/5 flyers and 8/8s and.
I won't lie, not a lot is going to be searing in this match. Let's be completely honest.
All right. Well, it looks like Prof might just be going down in a blaze of glory. It sounds like the players are ready. So let's go down to our next round here of No Modern Ban List. No ban list modern. Here we are for our third round of No Ban List Modern. I did it again. I keep saying that. I said it on. I don't even
I
want to
wanted
talk
to
about
laugh so.
it. On the top, we have Gaby Spartz on Hypergenesis, or Get Hypergenesis. On the bottom, we have the Prof with Watch Your Step.
All right, so looking at opening hands, I mean, Gaby's got her Cascade spell in hand, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes,
that's
she
basically
does.
what we're looking for.
But she has none of the huge creatures. Well, besides Progenitus, which is fine, but it's not as quick as a clock that it could be.
Progenitus is okay.
I don't know.
It's not great.
The Prof has a really aggressive start here.
That's true.
Professor has access to, I think, 2 Spell Pierce in his sideboards or in his main deck. So if he's able to draw one of those before Gaby can go off, Gaby might actually Forbidden Alchemy on turn 3 instead of just casting Violent Outburst.
That's fair. I think it's important for when you Cascade into a spell, that spell can be countered. It's not like it just happens for free, right? Like you can, Spell Pierce is great against that card. That's why I ran some.
I'm really hoping that the Professor draws Spell Pierce, but he Spell Pierces the Violent Outburst instead of the Hypergenesis being Cascade. And he's just like,
bad.
why? In all seriousness, though, Gaby's going to be taking a lot of damage here. And you know what? Progenitus doesn't fly.
That's true. This is very aggressive.
As we've come to see, the turn 1 Delver instantly flipping.
That felt really good both times. I don't care that I lost. I feel like I won a mini game. Even with this attack, straight up for 5, double Lightning Bolt in hand and Rift. You're right. This is kind of brutal here.
Yeah, and Gaby revealed a Progenitus off of the Goblin Guide trigger. With 9 burn spells or 9 points of burn in hand, I think Prof is going to win this one.
Yeah, this might be too fast for Gaby. Wow.
Plus, Gaby's deck has a bunch of pain lands. If I'm looking at this, she has, all the fetches, City of Brass, Horizon Canopy, a lot of shock lands, Mana Confluence, like a lot of ways to just deal herself a few points of damage, which this is going to be interesting.
Wow, this is, oh my goodness.
I think.
Well, what can Gaby? Can Gaby do anything to get out of this at this point?
Oh God, she's gonna go for the Violent Outburst instead of Forbidden Alchemy for Griselbrand.
Oh. Well, Prof must be thinking like, oh God, what is she gonna drop? Right? He must be just freaking out. Like I'm about to see everything in the world drop, and it's just gonna be a Progenitus.
Yeah, as long as the Professor doesn't take 4 more points of damage somehow, he just kills her via burn and air. If you look at Progenitus' picture, you'd think it would be able to like reach up its Hydra head to the sky where the Delver is.
You would think that. The immersion would suggest that.
Yeah, there are a bunch of... Most recently in Shadows, there was that stinky Ulvenwald Hydra. It had reach.
Yeah, I feel like there's something going on here.
It's a conspiracy.
Maybe we don't understand. Maybe the Merit Liege is pulling it down.
I think Brago.
It's
Brago.
Everything. It's Brago.
Yeah, it's Brago. Conspiracy, Brago.
Just blame Brago for everything.
Yeah.
Poor dead, not dead. Ghost King.
Gaby effectively at 1 here.
Yeah.
She takes 3 on upkeep from the Rift Bolt suspend, 3 from the Aberrant Researcher, and then 6 points from the Lightning. If Prof draws a burn spell, GG.
Yeah, it could just be over here.
Now, Progenitus, again, is one of those decks that can win turn 1, but...
this is not one of those times.
This is not one of those games.
I mean, to be fair, for Hypergenesis kills, this is a pretty lackluster Hypergenesis. Like,
yeah.
Some of these are really explosive. If you've seen the deck perform before, just dropping 1 Progenitus is definitely not what gets this card the reputation it has. Let's just put it that way.
Basically, any other creature there from Gaby would have won the game.
Anything else.
But it had to be one of the Progenitus.
Based on what she has in her deck, because everything else flies.
Yep.
Ashen Rider, Dragon, Emrakul, Progenitus, or Griselbrand.
The worst part is Gaby has 2 Anger of the Gods main deck, but those don't even work. Because
No,
if she angers, she's gonna have to take some pain damage.
she's gonna have to hurt herself.
Prof, what are you doing?
No, Prof is shutting Gaby off of using any of her lands.
But he could have just waited until she tapped one and they've been like, gotcha, in response.
He could have, but Prof, listen, if you know anything about, did you watch week 1 when he main phase collected company the entire time?
It was a mental misstep. It was a mental misstep. He's just F6 value. I got it.
B+. Okay, so this is bringing Prof down to 4 because Progenesis has protection from the world.
And Professor wins game 1.
Wow.
3 points, or rather 3 burn spells and some flying insect things and a hook-nosed goblin is... I
mean, I'm honestly surprised. I'm a little surprised, but again, Gaby just didn't have the creatures. So looking at sideboard, you want to start with Prof and see what he's working with?
Let's take a look at Prof's sideboard. He has...
Playset of
Spell Pierce. Oh, he has 2 Swan Songs.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, so Swan Song's real great versus Hypergenesis. It's just a hard counter, and Gaby gets a 2/2 flyer.
Yeah, which compared to, the 15/15 that is Emrakul doesn't seem as good.
He also has access to 1 Vapor Snag, which is fine versus... Well, actually, it's okay versus everything but Progenitus and Emrakul.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
Actually, is it Ashen Rider's a cast trigger? What's that?
Ashen Riders enter the battlefield, so or dies, enter the battlefield or dies.
Gotcha. So yeah, you can Vapor Snag one of those.
All right, so we have the 2 Swan Song, 2 Spell Pierce. Do you think he brings in the Vapor Snag? Do you feel like he should? Do you think he needs to?
I mean, I think I would. How many other creatures does that hit? Oh, he's looking at it right now.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it just doesn't hit Progenitus Emrakul. That's interesting. I mean, do you want to take a look at Gaby's sideboard? I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Sure, she's got. Actually, I don't see her sideboard. What?
All right. Well, she's got 2 Alhamrit High Arbiter, an Anger of the Gods, a Dragonlord Dramoka, 4 Ingature, 2 Oblivion Ring, 3 Ricochet Trap, and 2 Venser Shaper Savant. But we're already in game, so.
Ingature sounds like she was ready for the affinity matchup.
I think everyone in some capacity was ready for the affinity matchup.
Yeah. Hopefully Prof took out his 4 mental missteps he has main because they aren't doing anything. And see, now we see a classic Hypergenesis hand from Gaby. Ashen Rider, 2 Hypergenesis, Violent Outburst. Oh, yeah, 2 Ashen Rider and 2 lands. So if she draws one of the other... She has 3 in the deck. This is a mulligan. If she draws her 3rd Hypergenesis,
she loses.
Dead. She can suspend it, but then it's way too slow.
Yeah, I mean, against a deck like Prof's, which is just... Again, he could go... Let's see. What's his... Mulligan that. Interesting. Well, I guess he's looking for... he's got to be able to...
This hand's a lot better. This is like the perfect...
This is very good. This is the dream hand. That Spell Pierce. Amazing.
Wow. So he has 2 1-mana threats, and he gets to hold up... wow.
Gets to hold up Spell Pierce turn 2 onward. Amazing.
Yeah, the professor definitely studied for this one.
Wow.
Wait, Gaby kept this hand? Oh no, not like this.
Whoa, that is so risky. Oh god.
I mean, I guess that's not that risky because if she just hits 1 land, she gets double Ashen Rider, which is oh man, Prof.
In here,
Prof,
I feel
please.
Oh wow. Oh my, that's just brutal.
Remember,
double Spell Pierce.
Professor has to Spell Pierce the Hypergenesis that gets cascaded into, and not the Violent Outburst.
Not the Violent Outburst.
So we'll see if that is what's going to happen.
The worst part is now that there are 2 Spell Pierces, Gaby would have needed like none of her Hypergenesis in hand.
3 Ashen Riders.
If only this resolved, that would have been unbelievable.
So Prof might Goblin Guide plus Suspend Riftbolt. He did that last game, and so if Gaby hits a 3rd land...
Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's see. Okay, wait.
Is he going to play it smart, or is he just going to go...
If he taps that Steam Vents, I'm done.
Oh, he went to combat. Okay, he went to combat. He went to combat.
Okay, we're all right.
All is well. Right.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, no. But Gaby's whipping on land for another turn anyways.
Okay. All right, yeah, he did it. All right, shields are up. Oh, wow, that Dramoka. Yep, not good.
Gaby
again, this is definitely one of those instances where you can see the variance in Hypergenesis is just like coin flip to the max. Like, this is just crazy. I mean, now Prof is just, after seeing no third land, he's got to be like, all right, 1 mana per turn, swing until the game's over.
Exactly.
He's got to feel like, how does he lose this game now?
It's so hard for him to lose because 2 of the Hypergenesis are in Gaby's hand.
Yeah, there's just no... I mean, he doesn't know that, but he's got to feel really good no matter what.
Oh, God. And, again, Goblin Guy not revealing another land. Gaby.
Oh, this is just brutal. Not like this.
Definitely like this.
You don't like the Hypergenesis deck?
She's 4-1 in the league right now. I'm just having you know.
Yeah, that was Gaby.
Paul already lost, so Paul's 4-2 now. If Gaby loses here, she's also 4-2.
The only week she lost was the Momir Rando week. Everything that's been in her control has been like success. So
okay, there's a land.
All right, so we get to see Gaby's hopes and dreams completely destroyed.
Yes.
For the record, she deserves this after countering my Clone Legion 2 weeks ago.
All right.
I feel like this is all karma.
You know, the thing is, she had a bunch of land draw steps, and she also had Simeon Spirit Guide she could have drawn too.
Yeah, there were a lot of... I mean, even then, even if she drew them, again, Prof just had the nuts. Unbelievable. The Malta 6 was just the most glorious hand I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, Gaby. Why?
Anger the gods.
She just has to go for Ashen Rider.
She has to go for Hypergenesis. Like, there's nothing. She can't wait anymore. Being at 6 against this deck is just dead.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean. She has to go for a Cascade of some sort into the only Hypergenesis left.
She has to.
The 3 Ashen Riders will take care of... Actually, you know what? The Ashen Riders would take care of the lands because Dromoka would be able to hold off everything else.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, she just wouldn't have to get rid of anything else. Oh, man. Oh, God, it just hurts so bad. Just staring at this like, oh, the hope is gone. Everyone...
What in Professor's list is banned? Just the Treasure Cruises?
Let's see. Professor is playing...
Oh, Mental Missteps.
Ponder, Mental Misstep, Treasure Cruise, and it looks like that's it.
And the Ponders, correct. All right, Ponders, the Mental Missteps, which I think somebody said he left in for this matchup, so they were just dead draws.
Maybe he assumed that Gaby had Mental Misstep in her sideboard because she knew she'd be against this exact match.
All right, yeah, the kind of little back and forth.
Yeah, maybe he was just covered his bases because he was like, you know what? I'm going to Malta 6 and get Spell Pierce, so I might as well just leave him in, right?
All right, looks like Gaby's going to pass the turn because Violent Outburst she can cast at an instant speed.
Yep. Clean up, losing some value here. I'm getting rid of Hypergenesis. It's just a taunt.
All right, Lava Spike.
Yep, Prof going for the win right here. As you should.
Yeah, this was the risky line by Gaby, but maybe it's correct.
I mean, at this point, is there a difference? Is there a difference which line she takes in this situation? I mean, he's got that one land up like the whole, I don't know, this is tough.
We have producer's Doge barking in our ear currently.
Yeah. It feels weird to not respond to it.
I figured chat would be saying something about dogs if they could hear it, so
yeah,
it's not on your end.
I was like, I don't see any Frank or Z's. I'm assuming it's not Kenji. All right, here we go. Now, for a moment, Gaby feels really good about life. Now wait, let's see.
Wait, what? Let's see if he counters the correct card.
Okay, wait. Okay. He waited. Here it comes.
Oh, he clicked on the right one.
Oh gosh, darn it.
And that's gonna be the game. Gaby is gonna lose this match 2-0 versus the Watch Your Step red-blue Delver Swift Spear Goblin Guide burn aggro stuff.
Trouncing of a century.
Wow. So Gaby's gonna now fall to 4-2. Wait, was Professor on the left side of the bracket or the right side of the bracket?
These are important questions.
These are important questions. Yeah. If we could take a look at the bracket real quick. Oh, it's left side! Left-sidist! So judging by, and as you guys can see here, the Community Super League, we finished 3 rounds. Each of the left side match have won.
Ignore the second one. I blame collusion.
So MTA won over Paul. I happen to beat Mr. Wedge over there.
Oh,
The
wow.
Professor just beat Gaby, and next up we'll have Loading Ready Run versus Marshall Sutcliffe. So
I've heard some cool things about these decks, so
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see this matchup.
hopefully you guys are enjoying this no ban list modern, not ban list, but I'm sure that's a very good format too. Any idea, Wedge, what the other people might be playing?
All
Yeah.
I know about Loading Ready
Let's-
Run's deck is that they can win on turn 1, is that they have a possible turn 1 kill. That's all I know about it. I know nothing else about it. And all I've heard Marshall talk about is accusing the girlfriend bracket of definitely making dredge. Like, that's all I know. I know nothing past that. Do you know anything?
I have no idea. I'm at a blank. I'm at a loss.
Is there anything you expect to see that you haven't so far with the, ban cards being available?
Yeah, I think we'll see more decks, like you said, with Loading Ready Run that are capable of killing turn 1. I think so far only, only Gaby's deck, and there was one more who had a turn 1 kill potential. Was it just Gaby?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
Paul
think-
has to win turn 2.
Yeah, I think Gaby's deck is the only one that could have won turn 1 so far.
Yep.
So hopefully we get to see more of that. Anyways, don't go anywhere, folks. We are coming up to round 4 of the Community Super League, where we are playing No Banless Modern. Next up, Wedge, who do we have?
We have Marshall Sutcliffe versus Loading Ready Run.
All right, don't go anywhere. Thanks for tuning in.
Whether riding the bus or waiting for the Pro Tour Finals to begin, Magic Duels is a great way to hone your skills and try new strategies. Featuring hundreds of earnable cards from Magic's latest sets and virtually unlimited AI and online opponents, start playing Magic Duels free today on iPhone, iPad, Xbox One, and Steam.